Head coach of the Boston Celtics, who have a 3-2 series lead in the Eastern Conference Finals. It's Ime Udoka with us. Coach, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you guys?
Good. What was said at halftime last night? What was the focus of going out and having a strong second half?
Take care of the ball, first and foremost. Keep them off the offensive glass, secondly, and play good offense. And so, obviously they had some transition baskets. They had 16 points off of a second chance point, and then 12 points off our turnover. So when we looked at it overall, them having 42 points and us giving them 32 off of those two areas, we knew if we cleaned it up offensively, our defense was good enough to sustain us.
All right, Jayson said after your previous game that this is a must-win game, and you guys didn't win 2 games in a row. How important was it for your team, and especially the way Jayson and Jalen played in that third quarter, to turn it around in that third quarter to get you that victory?
Yeah, you need to. We've played well on the road at times. We'd love to have the chance to come home and finish it off. But, you never want to play that many elimination games if you can avoid it. Anything can happen injury-wise, one-off night or whatever. And so for us, it was just a continuation of what we did well in Game 4. And, it's been a back-and-forth series, a lot of ups and downs, inconsistent play, and we wanted to put together a consistent effort. And we still didn't get a whole game, but second half was obviously much improved from the first.
Can you recall a series like this that has been so lopsided? Both wins for the Heat and all 3 wins for the Celtics. I mean, aside from a few hiccups here and there, it seems like the issue is not in doubt for any of these games. Have you ever been in a series like this before?
I played in one against New Orleans Hornets back in the day in San Antonio, where we beat each other by 20 points for 6 games straight, and then we closed it out on the road at their place, and that was the only close game, about a 6-point game. So I've actually played in one, and then I've seen another series or two that have been just lopsided, but a lot has to do with our turning the ball over, and so we just had inconsistent quarters overall, and we wanted to clean that up and did a much better job in the second half, and we had to carry it over into home games, taking care of the ball, good offense, and simple things like keeping them off the glass, and we could limit them in the half court.
Is it that back and forth that maybe drives some fear that the series can quickly change, even being up 3-2, that's the thing that has gone on in this series? And if the trend continues, you could soon be playing in a Game 7.
Yeah, I think coaches are always looking at the big picture, and you never get ahead of yourself, understand how the series has gone so far. But we also control our own destiny as far as the things that we've done well to gain those leads and get the wins. And so when we shoot ourselves in the foot and don't take care of the basketball and let them have second chance points and they get 20-plus more shots, it's going to be a long night for us. And so things we can all control, we've improved throughout the playoffs and even in this series in those areas. And when we do that, you see the results like last night.
You obviously have some guys playing through some things with Robert and Marcus, but on a night like last night, how big was that for a guy like Derek White to have the night he had, especially early, to keep you guys in that game at halftime where things didn't look good?
Yeah, it was huge. He carried us really through the first half with Jayson and Jalen being a little bit off. Marcus and Rob are still hobbled at times with some things. And so it was great to see that carryover from Game 4 at home when he started and kind of got himself going in the rhythm early in that game. And for him to kind of fill in the bench role again, Marcus and Rob are huge for us. No matter what minutes they give us, even at 70, 75%, it's so beneficial for us. But to have Derek and Grant back in their original spots, those guys came in and he was just as aggressive as he was when he started the game. So huge first half for him to carry us on. He does so many things. Like I said, it's not always showed on the stat sheet with his scoring, but the defense chasing Duncan Robinson and Strus off these screens, he put a clinic on as far as that. And then offensively making the hockey assist, the quick decisions that lead to other people's baskets.
I was going to ask you about both Rob and Marcus as it relates to those decisions that you've now had to make, or the medical staff has had to make on a game-by-game basis with those guys dealing with stuff. Does the implication of playing and the potential to not have more healing take place, does that ever enter the equation as to whether or not a guy plays? If Marcus Smart, last night is cleared, does it ever cross your mind to say, hey, maybe sit out another game and we'll have, a better version of you come Game 6 and 7? Does that ever come into the equation?
No, the first thing we look at is, the pain tolerance and swelling, and Marcus is a guy that knows his body and knows what he can do. And so we trust him first and foremost. Obviously, medical staff is in alignment with that, but we're never going to put a guy out there if he's not able to participate at a high level, but also injure himself further. So we look at all those things. Obviously, ankle sprain is a lot to do with the swelling and a lot to do with the pain management, but it's not like a pulled muscle where he can go out there and tear something worse. So he trusted himself. He tested it and felt better throughout the day. And with those guys, like I said, we understand the 10 to 15 minutes they can give us are invaluable, what they bring to the team. But at the same time, health and safety is first and foremost. And so we trust what they're saying, trust the medical team, and then they go out there and prove it on the court every night.
We know that there was a special surprise when Marcus Smart was named Defensive Player of the Year. Did Jayson Tatum get any sort of surprise for being first-team All-NBA?
No, we were on the road. You didn't have a chance to, find anything like Gary Payton coming along, and so obviously we just congratulate him in front of the team. Another huge accomplishment for himself, but not only himself, but the rest of the team. And we understand how much that means as far as the team aspect and what we're doing for guys to get this recognition. But I said it yesterday, a tremendous honor for him. Top 5 player in the league. His professionalism and the way he goes about himself at this young age is crazy to me. It's just watching a kid this young grow right in front of your eyes, and as far as a scorer, defender, leader, and well-deserved for him.
Your travel, obviously back in the days when you played, you probably would fly all night. Do you find it beneficial to stay over, say, in Miami, and you guys are traveling back today? Do you feel like the team is more well-rested when you do that?
Definitely. I think we get a good night's sleep, obviously, with the games every other day and the 8:30 games. We would get out there about midnight and get home, probably guys in their bed around 4:30. And so it's good to stay in these cities and get a good night rest. You stay on your natural clock. And a lot of times with these late night flights, when you're getting in at 4 in the morning, your day is kind of thrown off, and the second day is when it really hits you. And obviously, with us playing on Friday, we don't want that to be the case. So as soon as we had these every other days and not 3 days in between, we've been staying the night on the road in certain cities, Milwaukee as well. And we just want to keep that natural clock going and get guys well rested. Miami's doing the same thing, obviously, albeit in their own beds, but we want to be on the even playing field as far as that.
And Brad Stevens probably gets to go clubbing, right? Staying over at night.
Oh, yeah.
He's the happiest guy to be in South Beach every night.
Ime, we have a listener who's been emailing us the last couple of days. His name is Dave. He believes that Joe Mazzulla has been far more active on the sideline during games. He says he watches every Celtics game and that he has noticed him more the last couple of games. Is there any truth to that?
Oh, absolutely. We delegate our scouts between the coaching staff throughout the season, and we split them up pretty, top heavy with our main guys to have 2 or 3 teams, and so they're not stacked. And Will Hardy had Brooklyn initially, Ben Sullivan had Milwaukee, and Joe Mazzulla has Miami now. And so we split it up so guys have plenty of preparation time. And when it's a certain guy scout, which this is Joe's scout, he's going to be obviously much more vocal and active out there. And I think I encourage that with the staff, guys to speak up. It was how I was taught by Coach Pop to get out there and be hands-on, especially when it's your scout. So he knows the ins and outs of this team more than anybody. And so Joe is a passionate, fiery guy, and he's going to be out there coaching his ass off, basically. And so we encourage that from the guys, and that's great for the team to have 3-4 different coaches to lean on, and specifically Joe in this series being that's his scout.
Does his focus tend to be more on the defensive side of things?
A little bit of both. I mean, we obviously want specific matchups and specific coverages, so we're constantly going back and forth with different guys in the game. And that side of the ball, he knows the play calls like the back of his hand. And like I said, with it being his scout. But it's a little bit of both. We all collaborate on everything. I'll obviously take a look at what they do defensively and kind of formulate my game plan offensively, how we want to attack that. So guys are constantly coming to him looking for the matchups and the certain coverages we want. And I'm more so looking at how to attack them offensively.
All right, Ime. Well, good luck tomorrow night. Big opportunity in front of your team. Best of luck, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right, thank you, guys.
Have fun.
Take care.